Le webinaire va bientôt commencer. Veuillez rester en ligne. Le webinaire va bientôt commencer. Veuillez rester en ligne. La diffusion vient de démarrer. Tous les participants sont en mode écoute seule.
Okay, folks, I'm a little bit early. I just want to make sure the audio is good and that you can see the screens, and then we'll start in just a minute. So if you'd be kind enough to type in that you can hear me, please, and see the screen, then we'll just take a minute. Okay, thank you very much, and I will be right back. Okay, I want to welcome everybody to the 10-Minute Trades webinar, How to Leverage Market Momentum in 2021, plus 3 strategies we're going to show you for better trading results. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director for 10-Minute Trades. And before we get started, I always ask everybody, if you'd be kind enough, just type in your first name and where you're from and what you like to trade. I just like to see who I'm talking to. And then it gives me an idea of the level of everybody, so I don't get too complicated or too simplistic. And I like to see where in the world everybody's from. Okay, Mike from Frederick, Maryland. All right, come on, don't be shy, folks. There's a lot of you in here. Steve S., good to see you, buddy. Very nice to see you. Shaquan in Atlanta. Okay. Bob in California, and Dennis in Canada. Eva, I hope it's Eva, not Ava, in New York. Steve, I never realized you were in Charlotte. Okay, all right. So we've got folks everywhere, all over the place as usual, which is good. Mostly futures, which is good because that's what we're going to stress. We are showing a strategy that it installs into NinjaTrader, the NinjaTrader platform, and we do trade futures. Okay, so that's the key for what we're doing. Don't forget that it is possible to lose money trading futures, so trade carefully. I always say the same things, but trade carefully, trade wisely, know your margins, know all the things you need to know to be safe. And I didn't mean to do that. All right, so today we are going to talk about market momentum. Okay, that's our subject for today. You're going to learn what market momentum is and is not, how momentum affects entries and exits, where to find my favorite free indicator that I use to read momentum. It's a great setup for entering trades early. I think it's one of the best signals for staying in a trade, and it helps to avoid whipsaws and take advantage of residual momentum. So obviously that brings up the first question: what is market momentum? So you know what? Let me load up my platform because I'm going to want to show you what momentum is. Or let's try something slightly different first. So it's always great when the first thing that you do in the week is have a winning trade. All right. So this morning we had a small, this afternoon actually, a small winning trade that for some people was a large winning trade, depending on how big you traded it. Momentum has to do with movement volatility. Okay, I want to open this with a different program so it doesn't blink at the bottom. So give me 2 seconds. Momentum, how could you explain momentum? Momentum is movement. I like to think of momentum as movement in a similar direction with an increase or decrease in its power. That's how I like to look at momentum. I want to see an increase or a decrease in its strength. And in order to be able to see that, an indicator can be very helpful. The indicator I use is free. It's available. I'll show you where you can get it if you use NinjaTrader. If you don't use NinjaTrader and you're a thinkorswim trader, it's actually part of their platform nowadays. If you use TradeStation, it's available all over the place. It's a very popular indicator. It's called the squeeze indicator. And on NinjaTrader, just make Google your best friend. If you Google squeeze indicator NinjaTrader, it will come up with this screen, and you'll be able to download a free squeeze that will install into your NinjaTrader platform. If you have any issues not being able to find it, you can always send me an email, send us an email to help@10minutetrades.com, help@10minutetrades.com, and we can point you in the direction of finding the indicator. So the squeeze indicator is this group of lines on the bottom, okay? And like we said, we're talking about market momentum. When the momentum is going down strongly, then these red lines draw more powerfully and they increase in their length. When the momentum changes, the color sometimes will change. And then if you look over here, you'll see that the indicator changes direction and it starts to shrink. Now, normal people or standard use of this particular indicator is to sell when it's heading down and to possibly buy when it's green and heading up. But with the help of our trading community and people in the community, putting our heads together, we discovered, and especially one of our members was especially astute, and he realized that you can use the indicator outside of the box, not in the standard way. And you can find a way to get into trades earlier when the momentum color changes direction. So in other words, sometimes it's very possible, rather than waiting for the color to change to green and to change all the way to the other side of the chart, you could use this downward action to give you a heads up that momentum is going to change. And you can sometimes, when the situation is right, you can go into an opposite direction trade. So you can use an indicator in a way that it might not have been intended, okay? And that's very important, to always think outside the box, especially with trading. So how does momentum affect your entries and exits? It's really very simple. When you're using it in a standard way, when the momentum is strong and moving up like it was in that particular chart, and I'll show it again because it's very clear. When the momentum is going down, then you're thinking, well, I might want to sell. And when the momentum is going up, well, you're thinking, okay, I might want to buy. Now, keep in mind that when you're trading events like we do, you got to ignore everything until after the event takes place. Because when you trade events the way that we do, it's very important to understand that no indicator in the world, and if you show me one, I'll buy it today, but there are no indicators that in general will keep up with very fast events. And that's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's just the way that it is. When we're trading events, I'm not really looking at momentum. I'm not really looking at indicators. We're using these tools in particular after the trade takes place. Okay. So for instance, when you have a trade like the bond trade, for instance, that we took today, I don't really care what direction the momentum is going during the trade, because if you watch, you could see these X's are the orders that we put on the chart. We get filled and pulled into the trade in 7 seconds after, about 13:02, 1:02 p.m. in 17 seconds. Okay, I'm now pulled into the trade on the upside. I'm not even looking at momentum indicators. I'm just taking our trade and trading it. But if this was what the momentum looked like a minute after the trade, I might want to take a long trade here, because this is a very early signal that the momentum is changing. Okay. So there is more than one way to read momentum, and it's important. It's like I said before, the momentum absolutely will affect your entries and exits. I showed you where to find that momentum indicator. Let me be a little bit even more specific about it. Make Google your best friend. And if you type in Ninja Trader squeeze indicator, okay, and TTM squeeze indicator, Ninja Trader support form. Ninja Trader has a free support form. All you have to do is create a login for yourself, and then they allow you to download all these free indicators. And the squeeze happens to be one of those indicators, and it's awesome. Okay, so that's where I find it. Very easy. As I said, it's a great setup for entering early. It's also a great signal for staying in a trade. For instance, let's say you're in a trade and it didn't end as fast as you thought it was going to end. So give me a second, because I want to load up my platform, because I can show you things a little bit more clearly. But when the momentum is just going up and up and up, you don't necessarily have a reason to jump out of a trade. Okay. So in a situation that looks like, I want to find a trending. Here's a very nice trending move on the bonds this morning. Okay. After the bonds opened, you've got price heading down. You've got the squeeze indicator momentum heading down. Certainly, you don't see a green indicator, which often would mean go up. That's how you can use an indicator. And it doesn't have to be the squeeze. That's the beauty of this, is any indicator that shows momentum can be used with what the extra things that I'm going to show you today also about the platform. Momentum, like I said, is the movement in a direction that increases as it goes. Okay, so in other words, we've got increasing momentum. The lines get longer. They stay dark red. That's an excellent area not to get out of a trade. Okay, so it's a good signal for staying in. We have 3 really important strategies that we've been working on in the update to our software to help you for 2021. But first, are there any questions about momentum? Because it's really important in one of the strategies that I'm going to show you. Any questions? Does everybody understand how to read that indicator? I'm assuming yes, because I'm not seeing any questions. Okay, it's not complicated. It's not complicated. In fact, it works a little bit better on gold also. Bonds are a little bit laboriously slow moving, whereas gold is a bit more exciting to look at. So you can see the momentum even better with gold. Very easy to see that you may not necessarily want to jump out of trades if momentum is going down. Now, look, if you're in a consolidative environment or an environment that's range bound, then a momentum indicator may not necessarily be your best friend. But when price starts to move up and continues up, look at how the change in color here gave us a heads up that price might go up. It gave us a very potentially early entry, okay? Color changed, it got lighter. So we use this squeeze indicator in a way that's different than most other people. The normal way, and there's nothing wrong with using it the normal way, you get a red line, your momentum starts to increase, the lines get bigger, and the price goes down. So that's momentum. Mark, who's in here, helped us figure out the momentum. Very, very clever thinking to use the squeeze outside the box. And that's, it's one of the great things about being in a good trade room where you trust the people you're trading with, because everybody's been in rooms where the ideas flow, but the ideas are not always that great. We've been lucky in that the ideas in our trade room are great. People are really smart traders. And we've always had a history of adopting the smart info that people give us, and we often put it in our software. We modify it, of course, and change things around, but we're always thankful for the thinkers in our trade room. And that's why we really bug people to talk and to ask questions and to be active. Don't just sit back and watch. So I want to talk about the 3 strategies we're focusing on in 2021, and they help improve our trading. They're strategies we've been using for a while to improve our ABT trades. That's our new way of saying appointment-based trading, and capture more ticks. They're so important. We literally just paid a developer good money to add them into the JOBB software we use every day in our trade room. In other words, we just are done with an update, and we've added the update with these strategies. And we feel for sure that these strategies will give us better results in 2021. The first thing we have is, it's automated trading, but I call it unattended trading. It's not yet artificial intelligence, okay, AI. At some point in the near future, we're going to keep adding more and more features to it to make it artificially intelligent. However, our software is so cool that there are ways to simulate artificial intelligence with our software. So we can take our unattended trading and we can sort of add what I would call semi-artificial intelligence. And I'll show you very briefly what I mean by that. Automated trading. What's interesting is this morning, and I wasn't really planning on doing this quite this way, but let me show you something that I did this morning. I ran a test because obviously you get a new software update, you have to test it, make sure it works. So I put my platform. One of the most popular things that people ask us about is, look, I'm in the office, I want to trade your report, I can't get away, I'm not able to do it, but I don't want to get stuck in a trade for 4 hours. It's too dangerous and risky. I don't want to lose all my money. So that's one thing people asked us. The other thing that people asked us is, well, what if I want to trade tomorrow and I'm just not going to be around? I have to go out. Same concept. You're not going to be around. So we've added unattended trading. So this morning I wanted to test it. And what it allows you to do is put a date in, okay? It's a 1 trade unattended trade. So in other words, I put my computer on last night, I went to sleep, And when I woke up this morning, I was able to test the trade that I put on. I was going to trade the gold around the gold open, okay? And I was going to set it up for today. I wasn't going to stay in the trade more than 3 minutes. That was my maximum unattended. And I would cancel the trade after 30 seconds if I did not get filled. So I've already added artificial intelligence to this trade, okay? I'm not there, but I can cancel it even though I'm not there if it doesn't fill me, because that's one of our safety features in general. I can also just tell the software after 3 minutes, shut the trade down, whether it's a winner or a loser. Just get out. That's the rule. So here's what's interesting, though, and why I thought I would show this today. So I had this trade that I set up. I was set up to enter the trade, and that's the one thing I want to check to be sure. Yes, at 820, which is the gold open. That's what I thought I did. So there, years ago, there used to be a pit, and you used to trade gold. The pit traders would scream and yell and trade gold. Now there's no pit, but there's still a theoretical gold open. There's still a few pits left, like the S&P still has a pit. But now, of course, with the world pandemic also, people aren't trading together that much anyway. So 820, remember, I put on an automated trade. So my orders showed up on their own. And then remember, I said I was going to allow for 3 minutes. Now, here's something interesting that happened and that you could have very possibly done to protect your profit. Almost immediately, the trade became profitable. If you look up here, you'll see that there's a realized profit of 5 ticks. Gold opens, it shoots down. It happens so fast you can barely see it. But there's a profit there of 5 ticks. We have a feature in our software that will simulate artificial intelligence by moving the stop automatically to break even if your first target is hit. So that's one thing you can do, is move your stops if your targets get hit, to protect your profit. Because you see, this trade is profitable. But remember, I'm not going to cancel for 3 minutes, because that's what I decided I was going to try and do. And this is why you want to continually add more and more artificial intelligence. But after 3 minutes, this particular trade canceled. It turned out it was not necessarily a winner. However, had I just performed a little bit of artificial intelligence by moving my stop, it would have taken me out of the trade with a 5-tick profit. So there are ways, if you use our unattended trading, that you can be smart and protect your profit. So that's our first strategy that we're working on for 2021. Our next strategy is reversals. And we've already had the webinar on reversals, so please rewatch it and learn about how you can use reversals to trade more after news events take place, or you can set up reversals before a trade takes place, because very often the charts will show you. And then number 3, which we've talked about, is momentum today. Momentum is extremely important because it keeps you in trades. It helps you enter trades. I'll tell you a funny story also. The other day we were in a natural gas trade room, and I made a mistake. I know it's a miracle. It never happens. I never make mistakes. But this was one of those rare days where I made a mistake. And I was teaching. And while I was teaching, unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize that my strategy was open and live on a different chart. And I clicked the trade button thinking I was in simulation mode as I was teaching not to take a reversal at this point. And I was showing people why not to take the reversal, which I proceeded to take in my live account. I knew the second that I pressed the button that I made a mistake and that I was live in an account no one could see. Long story short, I got out of the room real quick. I made up an excuse why I had to go. And when I got to that chart, I was down almost $400 in about a minute. I made a mistake, but normally I would immediately close out my chart, take my loss, bite the bullet, and that would be the end of it. But I noticed something very obvious that we had been practicing over and over for the past couple of weeks, and it was the momentum. I was in natural gas. I was up here with price, and the momentum had changed color to red, and it was heading down, and it was heading down, and it was heading down. So I stayed in the trade, and I was able to use momentum to save me from a catastrophic loss. So that is very, very important. Just very important. If you think rather than panic, you can often save yourself. Now, look, everybody knows it could have gone the other way, and I would have gotten out, and I would have been sorry, and that's life. You make mistakes, but momentum is very powerful, okay? Very powerful. And you can use any indicator you want to help you decide if there's momentum or not. And then I'll show you how you can use it with our platform. So we did the automated trading webinar, and you could either email us if you didn't get that webinar, help@10minutetrades.com, and we'll happily send it to you. Most of you probably got it, okay? So our software used to be only semi-automated, but now you can trade completely unattended, okay? And like we said, it'll open up late night, overnight trades. It used to be you could never trade overnight. Once midnight came, it started a new day and you couldn't trade that next day. So now you can do that. Reversals, again, you can ask us, just help at 10 Minute Trades. We'll happily send you the video on reversals. And then momentum, we've discussed it. So we have an option that we call the squeeze play. And it's an indicator, it's really a strategy. It's part of our strategy that we use with an indicator, okay? And it's used after the high volatility trades are over. And residual momentum is the momentum that occurs after a very high volatility trade. And we've baked these versions into our software, these new setups. In other words, if you've seen any of our webinars, if you've watched any of our demos, if you've watched demos of our trading, then you know what I'm talking about. Hang on, you know what I'm talking about when I say that it's baked into the software, but let me show you. So our software is not complicated. It's part of NinjaTrader, and you just call up a strategy, okay? And you double click on the name of our software. And then if you scroll down to trade type, these are the various setups that you can use with our software. Everybody knows our regular breakout bracket trades. That's how we got started. Then we have a range trade. A range trade is a trade based on time. And one of our most popular range trades is the API report. The API report, no joke, has been stopped out three times since January. It's a weekly trade. I can show you screen after screen after screen, but instead, let me just show you what I mean by a range trade. We create a physical range based on time. We know that this is a 4:30 trade. So what I do is I actually create a 4-second range. If that range gets broken, then I will get entered into the trade. That's what happened here. You can see the lines that represent the range. And when they get broken, now keep in mind, it's only a 4-second range. It's a short one. So those lines create the range. The candle itself is the range that we're talking about. And then our software shows you where the orders will be placed in 4 seconds. And there's our orders. The range bursts through to the downside. It fills me in the trade. And, you know, that was another winning API trade. That's a range trade. Okay, you can do a range trade around zones that we create. We have range trades based on time. So we have a lot of different setups that we use. But the three main ones that we've been working on for this update are the squeeze play, the reversal trade, and then unattended trading, which just shows up differently in the software. Unattended, you click on it, you set the date, the amount of time you want to be in it, and you can even set how much money just to be ultra safe. Let's say you wanted to lose, didn't want to lose more than 5% of your account. You can even set a disaster setting, I call it. Truthfully, folks, what I would recommend, it's always best to watch your computer, even if you're traded unattended. If not, set a very short time frame and make sure you check the computer, because things happen. Technology can fail, internet could go out, but it is something people asked us for. So just be aware of the risks when you trade in that manner. But reversals and momentum trades are trades that you can enter in a discretionary manner. So you can use them at any time, which is a very, very powerful feature. Okay. So what I was saying is these new setups, we call them setups or trade setups, are part of the software under what we call the trade type. So you got breakout, range trade with zones, reversal trade, and squeeze play. Those are the big ones we're talking about recently because they're the newest. Okay. So the current squeeze play, one of the things you can do with it that's very interesting is it will look at the current candle and it will allow you to decide what direction you want to go. You might only want to trade long. You might only want to trade short. And you don't want to put multiple strategies on a chart. So we integrated multiple strategies into one. And we did it by just putting buttons on the chart, which are very easy to see. So if you choose the squeeze play, what appears on the chart and I'll show you in 1 second. When you enable it, you get these buttons across the top. The first two on the side are just very clearly, if you click the button, it'll put you in the market short. If you click the long button, it'll put you in the market long. But the key for the one-click range long or the one-click range short is, let's say you get a momentum that you think is definitely going to be a short trade. Then you can click the short button and you see it's under the price, and it will be under the price based on criteria that you choose. And the variety of those criteria might be how many bars you look back. That's called one-click bar look back. It might be zones. It might be just the current price, 1 bar. But the point is, it now allows you to enter discretionary, but be protected by stops, targets, moving your stops if you hit your targets. In other words, you don't have to write an ATM. Our software is a super ATM that will help you to enter sometimes just long or sometimes just short. And it will have targets, stops, and the ability to move those in an automated fashion. And that's what our new squeeze play can do. We're very excited about it. And for a discretionary trader, you can also use it just to trade, not events. You can trade it just when there's momentum. So it's a whole new way of trading that we and our members helped us come up with at the beginning. It all started at the beginning of the pandemic because news events We're not trading as eventfully as they are getting back to now. But you always want to be prepared if things aren't working exactly the way they used to. You want to have multiple ways to trade. If Larry M is asking a question, I see your hand is raised. Feel free. If you have questions, folks, you can ask them while I'm talking. So the key to what we're doing is all three of these strategies, the reversal, the squeeze play, unattended trading, are now baked into the new version of our JOBB software. It says coming out soon. I'm virtually testing the final version right now, and we're getting ready to put it up on the website. It's called JOBB software. It's an add-on for Ninja Trader. And in addition to the three main advantages in addition to these three strategies, the main advantage of using our software is how it helps us fight against human error. That's one of the biggest things that it helps us with. What is human error? Inconsistency, anxiety, forgetfulness, fear, greed, impatience, honest mistakes like I was talking about, hesitating, distractions, overconfidence, overwhelmed, overcomplicating things. We get reckless. Human error is the cause for so many problems in our trading. Our software really helps to reduce that, okay? Human error. The JOBB software has become our secret weapon in ways to reduce human error, and on some trades, it will get rid of it entirely. The issue of human error is more than just psychological. It's costing you thousands of dollars in real money out of your pocket. It's why you lose more often than win, even with a proven winning strategy. It causes some traders to blow out their accounts. And believe me, I know. And for some people, more than once. Human error can lead to lost confidence and a desire to quit trading. And lost confidence can affect your views on investing for your whole life. And it could lower your income accumulation. If you stop trading, or the fear of losing. So the bottom line is JOBB software reduces human error, and that leads to less mistakes, less anxiety, more consistency, more confidence, a faster learning curve, and most importantly, better results. Let me show you a couple of screenshots. The beauty is today we had a winning trade, the first trade of the week. Let me just show you the trade in real time, exactly what happened, because it's great. I didn't trade, a million contracts today. I just traded it enough to show people it's a new report that we're trading. And I wanted to show everybody that came into the room, hey, look, I have this new report. And not only do I have a way for you to trade it, but I've studied this report, and I know that if you overdo the cancel, if you wait about 15 extra seconds and don't cancel it early, that you have a really good chance of making money on this trade. Our trade setup says to cancel in 40 seconds, but I've been studying these bond trades like a lunatic, and I realized that these bond trades have been triggering 10 to 15 seconds late. So watch what would have happened if I canceled it in 40 seconds, which we normally call for. But if you come into our trade room, sometimes you get some extra info. That's 40 seconds. That's a canceled trade, zero profit. If you stayed for an extra 10 seconds, the trade gets filled. Not only does it get filled, I'm trading bonds, $31.25 a tick. It hits my first target of 2 ticks. And in, 29 seconds, 30 seconds, I had a profit of $125. One of our members made $250. Another member made $125. The point is, the software helped me to trade profitably. I was able to put my orders on the chart. Let me show you a couple of other screenshots from members. I told you about the API report. We've been trading it every week. It's an oil report. Brian, Thanksgiving week, made $150 on the API report. We traded the 10-year bond report about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Don't laugh at making $93 on a trade. If you make $93 every day on a trade, think about it. It's over $400 a week. It's $2,000 a month. There's nothing wrong with that. We love small trades. We love any winning trade. We trade the grain report. The grain report is called the WASD report every month. Last November, $262.20. Nothing wrong with that. The quarterly grain report has not been stopped out in more than 2 years. This was a $450 positive trade because I was losing $390 before the trade started. When the trade was over, I was up $60, positive $450. I'd say about 20 seconds that trade took. And then last but not least, the recent ADP trade. Virtually everybody made $200 on it in December. I don't know why, but everybody got hit the same profits. $200, and it was in seconds. I can show you hundreds of these screens, folks. They go on and on. It's what our software helps us to do. And our software has been thousands of hours of live trading. We've invested tens of thousands of dollars in real money to test and perfect it. And then we recently invested $8,400 to develop and update the software to reduce and eliminate our own human error out of the equation. That's the key, getting rid of the human error. Our software is unique in the trading industry. We have looked, and you can't get software like this for appointment-based trading anywhere else that deals with futures. If you have thousands of hours to spare and you want to create your own version, expect to spend at least $30,000 in trial and error and development costs. On our website, a lifetime license of the JOBB software is $29.97, $2,997 for lifetime. We've also had sales in the past where we've discounted the lifetime license to a low time payment as low as $497. If you haven't already heard by now in the previous webinars we've done, we have an announcement to make. The days of a $497 lifetime license are over, and it's real. We're not kidding. We're not bringing it back. We're not extending it. It's expensive to support and maintain hundreds of lifetime licenses. And we're constantly investing in upgrading and improving the software. You've all seen that. If you've been members, you've seen us add features constantly. And paying a developer is not cheap either, and everybody knows that. I just talked about the 3 strategies that have been so important to us that we had our developer bake them into the software. So once again, the new JOBB software updates are set up specifically for reversal trades that allows you to be safe with stops and targets, the same with squeeze plays, and limited full automation. And we call it limited because it's not totally an artificially intelligent robot yet. That gives us some expense of maintaining and upgrading the JOBB software starting Thursday, December 24th. We're eliminating the $497 sale price for a license, a lifetime license. $497 lifetime is gone. Jaquan, you can't yet scale into position sizes. Jaquan asked, can you scale into position sizes as well with the software? No, but you do have the ability to trade 3 positions. But scale, I mean, look, Jaquan, you could manually scale in, okay? And your stops will still stay there. You're not going to lose your stop. You just have to make sure that the amount of contracts in your stop is the same, okay? So we're transitioning. We're not going to continue with a lifetime $497 license anymore, because of all the reasons I just explained, the cost, the developer. Instead, we're going to transition to an annual license cost of $997 a year. We'll still let members get a lifetime license for $29.97, but that will be the only option for a lifetime license starting next week. There will not be a $497, only $29.97 for a lifetime license. Literally, it's not next week. It's starting this week, Wednesday. If you already have a lifetime license of the JOBB software, the following message is not for you. You're locked in. You know how honest we are. You know we're not going to change our minds on you and tell you you have to pay again. However, if you don't have the JOBB software yet, or you're thinking about getting it or waiting for whatever, the time's now, because you'll never see this discount again, ever. Okay. It's really down to 2 days. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You've got 2 days. You can get the JOBB software at the lowest price you'll ever see it again. Not the $84.82, $8,482 we paid to develop it, which doesn't even include the years of developing the strategy through trial and error. Not the $29.97 regular price you'll see on our website. Not the $9.97 annual subscription price you'll see on our site starting next week. Actually, this week. This is the last time ever, folks. You get a lifetime license for $4.97. www.getjobbnow.com. Just $4.97. Never again, no joke. And to help you get a jump start on 2021, the first 10 people who take action today, we'll throw in a special bonus, 90 days free in our live trade room, which is an $891 value based on the $297 per month charge on our website. 3 months free. It doesn't really matter what the cost is. It's well worth way more than $891. Most importantly, though, we're going to take on all the risk of your investment in the JOBB software. We have a 100% 6-month money-back action guarantee. And I stress action. Trade with the JOBB software for a full 6 months. Trade with me live in the trade room in simulation 2 days a week for the next 3 months. Then we're giving you those 3 months in the trade room. Take at least 2 appointment-based trades per week and then continue trading on your own at least 8 days a month. That's not very much. That's just twice a week. Take 2 appointment-based trades per week. Start with $5,000 in simulation. You don't even have to risk real money over the following 3 months. If you're not happy with the JOBB software for any reason at the end of that time period of 6 months, where you practiced and actually took the trades, show us that you took the trades, that you didn't just buy the software and file it away and do nothing. We know if you take the action, you'll never ask us for a refund. But if you do take the trades and still want your money back, just show us that you did it and we'll give you 100% full refund. We believe in the power of the software. You know how much I believe in our software. I don't have to tell you that. We put a full guarantee behind it. If you try it and don't like it, just follow those rules of trying it. We'll give you a full refund. So here's what you get, folks. The JOBB software is an $8,482 value. 3 months of the live trade room is 4 to 5 days a week, an $891 value, reducing and sometimes even eliminating human error. You know there's no value. It's priceless. It's a total value of $9,373. For the last time, and this is running out Wednesday, folks, this sale is over. This sale is over Wednesday. $497 for the JOBB software. It does require Ninja Trader. They sell it separately, but you can rent Ninja Trader also. You can get a lifetime license. JOBB software, $497. Never again. www.getjobbnow.com. It's a deal that, I mean, for me, folks, it's a no-brainer. I started out just like everybody in this room. I was a member. I was actually a trade station owner, and I hired programmers to write our strategy in Trade Station. And I just could never get them to get it to work, no matter what I did. They would write the software, but it just didn't do anything properly that I needed it to do ultimately until I found the JOBB software. And then when I got here, I just thought that there were a whole bunch of things that I would like to add to the software to make it more exciting. And that's what I did. So again, folks, for the last time, just $497. You can get it at www.getjobbnow.com. The first 10 people that take us up on this today will get 3 months free in the trade room. So let me just go through the questions that we have. There's always a couple of questions. We offered this special price last week with a 1-week deadline. The countdown, like I said, is now it's down to just 2 days. If you don't act before it hits 0, the countdown, the only way to get the software will be for $997 a year or $29.97 one-time fee. So remember, the software makes trading simpler, semi-automatic, more strategic, smarter, and safer. Does the JOBB software work on any other trading platforms other than NinjaTrader? Not yet, folks. At some point, I know we say this all the time. We've been so busy updating the software, but there will be a day we're going to support other platforms. It's inevitable. Right now, only Ninja. Where do you get NinjaTrader? www.ninjatrader.com. You can order and download their trading software. If you have trouble installing software, as long as you have NinjaTrader already installed, we can help you install our software. If you really can't deal with it, we do have a one-on-one installation option available. But remember, we're giving you 3 months in the trade room. Just come into the trade room and we'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to do it. I'm the one in the trade room. I'll happily show you. So if you need help after installing it, that's what I'm saying. That's why we include 3 months of the live trade room. I want to help you. I want you to succeed. I want you to do better than I did, like one of our traders did today who made double what I made. I want you to do better than I do. How much are future upgrades? That's a fake question. Of course, there's zero because it's an unlimited license, no charges ever again. And again, for the last time, an $8,482 value for the JOBB software. 3 months of the live trade room is worth $891, reducing your error and eliminating it on some trades. You can't put a value on that. It's worth $9,373. And this is it, folks, $497, www.getjobbnow.com. This is it. I'm done. I'm not going to say it again if there's no questions. This is a deal and a half. I can't tell you how much I love using our software. There are so many reasons why I use it. Semi-automating, not fumbling around, moving my stops, setting up my targets, all the reasons why a trader would want to use software when you trade are part of our software. So I can't stress more why you'd want to use it. I can't stress more why the deal is awesome. And if I don't have any other questions, I want to say thank you so much for spending time with me. You could not get the squeeze indicator. Michael, just send me an email, help@10minutetrades.com. Let me type it in for you. I'll help you get the indicator. Just send me an email, help@10minutetrades.com. I'm the guy that gets those emails, okay? And I'll send it. I'll make sure that I point you in the right direction. Let me type it in one more time so you see it. And any other questions? I know sometimes it's funny, you know, you put a link up and people can't get to it, and it's a mystery why that stuff happens. I don't know. I want to thank everybody for coming. I just want to do a little bit of a shout out to some of our friends. Dave, thank you. Dave S., you just signed up for the software. Jaquan, I think you recently signed up for the software. Robin, I know, I don't know if, Robin, you signed up yet. I know that I thought you were saying you were thinking about it. And I just want to thank everybody that's here that I know from the past or from being present members. You know how much I love this stuff, and you know that I'm not, the only time I sell is when we do these webinars. Every now and then, if we have a monster trade in the room, I can't believe sometimes that people don't use the software. Jaquan's been having a ball. Jaquan's a new trader, and he's been started out really, really well. The only thing I like to tell people is don't get overconfident, Jaquan. Nothing is perfect. There'll always be, you know, just be as smart as you've been, and you'll do great. You've been doing great. So everybody have an awesome day. I just want everybody to be smart and safe and careful, and trade the best that you can. Share with us. We share with you. You know how it works. And I thank you all for giving me your time today. And my name is Lee Goldstein, the trading director at 10 Minute Trades. And thanks once again. And I'll see everybody in the trade room. Take care, everybody.